What was an area to watch is now a tropical storm. Skipped right over the tropical depression stage, and we now have Tropical Storm Jerry.
Tropical Storm Jerry out there in the Atlantic, in a place where we've seen tropical systems so far this year, and probably moving in a similar way to earlier tropical systems this year so far.
It's amazing, this playbook that has been put out there. Mother Nature seems to keep checking in and following it.
Seems to be locked in.
Yeah.
And Jen, we'll get to that in a second. Thank you very much. So let's have a look at the most recent advisory now from the National Hurricane Center on Tropical Storm Jerry. If you're just joining us, they're the Lesser Antilles, the easternmost islands of the Caribbean. We're talking about roughly right now over 1,000 miles east of the island. So absolutely no direct weather impacts being felt at all in any of those Caribbean islands, from developing tropical Cyclone Jerry as a 45-mile-per-hour fledgling system, I'll call it, because it's actually not really that super well organized right now. Yes, there's some things on the satellite presentation suggesting that it's got some room for development and room for growth, no doubt. The outflow pattern here, the clouds at the highest altitudes are kind of flaring off in all kinds of directions, suggesting it's breathing pretty well. Those thunderstorms are yet to be really particularly durable, which is something that you need to be associated with that upper level outflow pattern in order to sustain that intensity and intensification. So we'll see. It will get stronger, we think, but let's talk about where it's going to go. And this is what Jen and I were mentioning. It's probably going to go roughly along the same trajectory that so many of its predecessors have this season. There it will be, we think, as we go into just a couple days from now, well north of the islands. Probably not, if this forecast verifies, really impacting weather-wise the islands, except maybe the far northeastern corner there of the Caribbean. But then this thing probably takes a hard north turn and then northeastward, and maybe by the end of this weekend finds itself way out in the Atlantic, tangled up in a frontal zone, and probably rapidly becoming extratropical, and then once again, maybe headed over toward Europe. You can see the jet stream shape, which we're pretty confident in by the weekend, looking something like that, protecting once again the East Coast. We've seen a lot of those troughs along the East Coast this hurricane season, and they seem to show up when there's a tropical cyclone offshore, leading to this kind of behavior. Here's Jerry's cone, and you can see, heads up if you have interest in Bermuda, we could perhaps see a close encounter late in the weekend with a tropical cyclone, a hurricane in this case, all a possibility there.